What, what's going on, ladies? Let me get a one if you can hear me. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Divested Dreamer. Thank y'all all for all the ones. Hey, Colette de Jour. I already got a big ass smile on my face. KLSB is here. We got Miss Gemini in the building. Raven Beauty is here. She's always here. Hey, Religion Free and V in Training. Of course, we got Snapple down there and up here. Hey, Divested Sweetheart, Blackest Annie Refugee. How are you? Let's go. So, one thing, happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because this is wonderful. One thing you're not going to do in the white man's society is destroy the image of his woman. I don't give a fuck what she's doing. She could be a Karen, she can act a fool. He know what she is. Make no mistake about it, he know exactly what she is. But he's not gonna let you say it. He's not gonna let you tear up her image. I don't give a fuck if she's a fat, sloppy drunk that got a filthy mouth, that act a damn fool, don't know how to act in public, resisting arrest, not taking care of her kids. If she on the methany pipe, all that shit. What you not gonna do, motherfucker, is mess with his woman's image, and you're not gonna mess with his money. Tucker Carlson found out the hard way. He did. You messed with his money. You messed with millions of his money by running your mouth. Hey, it is what it is. I'm sure your next venture is going to be amazing. Good luck to you. But the people that listen to me in the clouds and listen to me out of the clouds or whatever, they not really checking for Tucker Carlson. They trying to get with a cane. So all they care about is, oh Jesus, let me grab my pearls. Let me oh my God, I'm faking. They racist ass them let go of Don Lemon. Hell no. Don Lemon's milkshake has been bringing all the boys to the yard for a very long time, right? He didn't understand the assignment. What Don Lemon thought was that he was going to be able to, fuck it, let me share my screen. This is awesome. Oh,
That's accurate. Actually, that's really accurate, DZ. He thought he was going to be able to fuck it. Period.
baby,
Just
they
saying.
are too late. They should have been fired this sassy motherfucker here. Don Lemon thought that he was going to be able to say, guess what, y'all? I sucked dick down to the base. And that was going to make him untouchable. What he did was get a reckless mouth, got emotional, right? Here's this little tweet. CNN let his ass go. And of course, he had to bring the queen out again. I was informed this morning by my agent that I have been terminated by CNN. Well, your agent's on his job. That's wonderful. I'm stunned. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to listen. Sir, you thought that you was a white woman. Let's just keep that part real. On top of that, you thought if you just grabbed you a zaddy, oh shit, I'm in the club now. Look, y'all, these are some conquered ass males. In any way that they can try to get some sort of protection, not only from you, because you got it on lock, you're going to protect the shit out of the black man, but he need a little bit more because you don't own society either, if you want to keep it perfectly real. The people like his husband own society, so he snatched him up a zaddy, then got reckless, all up on TV, drunk like a motherfucker. Y'all, I can't. Every single year, his funky, sassy ass was up there on TV, drunk like a motherfucker during the New Year's celebration. On top of that, those ratings have been suffering. I hope this gets back to him because I've never liked him. I can't stand, first of all, I can't stand the left, okay? You, sir, and your people that look like you, that share that same shit log, are conquered. You're never going to be able to come in, walk in sassy, and tell motherfuckers what they're going to do.
Know if
Don't
Birmingham,
limit.
Alabama ever heard of me, but they will, because I come to complete the assignment. It wasn't there.
Yeah, that's Don Lemon going to work. Okay, he on his way to in CNN to talk some bullshit. You found out the hard way. Sir, they have been trying to get rid of you for a long time, but they waited and you finally gave them a good fucking reason because it's hard to fire a F word. We say that in Discord. It's hard because you don't want your company to come off phobic. So you got to wait till they fuck up for real, for real. So let me tell you where he started out fucking up. Y'all, this goes all the way back to 2008. You hear me? In 2008, this woman right here, her name happens to be Kyra, by the way. Her name is Kyra Phillips. So they had an issue in Iraq. They gave Kyra the job, the little bonus money to go out there and report on it. Don Lemon didn't like that shit. Sassy Dawn said, that shit is my job. So when she got on the plane and left, do you know he went through her desk and started tearing up her pictures, her notes and paperwork? Aaliyah, did you know that?
No, I didn't know that because, like you were saying, CNN is just a little bit too liberal for me, and I really don't care for Don Lemon, so I'm not that aware of his background.
Well, Don Lemon is a fucked up individual. So he, invaded her personal space, went to her desk, tearing up her shit, tearing up her pictures, acting a queenly fucking fool. This is way back in 2008. So you mammies out here that are saying that they were being racist to Don, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. This motherfucker has been a diva since day one. They have forgiven him for infraction after infraction after infraction. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Let's keep going. The fuck you mean? Scroll. At a business meeting, a CNN meeting, when they were trying to get their notes together, he had the nerve to disrespect this woman right here. I know y'all know who she is. This is Nancy Grace, the motherfucker that is a no-nonsense bitch. He had the nerve to cut her off, tell her she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. Shut the fuck up. I got this. Move the fuck along. Snapple, you got anything on this? Because this is amazing to me, and I'm glad this motherfucker's gone.
He said that to Nancy Grace, and she said what? Because she don't be playing that shit.
Listen, Nancy Grace, she'll get your ass if you live on TV. But what Nancy Grace is, she's a pencil whooper. What she'll do is she'll look at you and go, "Okay, that's what you're saying to me." Okay, then she go in the back and work her magic. Okay, she don't have public fights; she have interview fights.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, same as Aaliyah, I don't really pay him too much mind. I don't think I really. I think I might. I did hear about his New Year's Eve antics, which is cringe. But I find it hilarious that he got terminated, and I thought his post was so funny because he about to play the race card and try to see if he could strong arm his way into staying or some dumb shit.
Tucker Carlson fucking up his race car thing. You and him got fired on the same day for fucking up the church's money. Do you understand? You got a little bit too comfortable. Don, you don't own anything, motherfucker. You can't you don't own CNN. That motherfucker. Y'all, do y'all even know where Don came from? Is anybody aware of where he came from? Because he came from the streets of Chicago up there. He was an anchor there in Chicago for a little minute. So if
He's
y'all
from Louisiana.
originally, yeah, that's where he used to live. As far as his news shit goes, he's from Chicago. You got anything on this, Ebony? Why you up here, girl? I can't. I love this shit.
Well, he's kind of been out of pocket for a bit. I think he has actually lost a lot of viewers for CNN, and a lot of people were gunning after him anyway. He
Yeah,
gave them a reason.
yeah. Y'all, black men can only talk shit about you. That's it. You, y'all, look at what just happened with the Miss Pearly things and all the black women over there. You can only talk about black women as a black man. That's why they always tugging at your goddamn coattail, punching you in the mouth and carrying on, talking about how bad your pussy stink and how you ain't worth the fucking, how they don't prefer you. You are an easy punching bag. But when you start fucking with Zaddy's women, you're done. You are done, son. Go ahead, Aaliyah. I hear you off
I'm
mute.
sorry. No, that was just what I was about to say. You took the words out of my mouth. And this is another example of what I was talking about when I said that this is the only community that bashes older women and they tell them they've hit the wall or outlived their usefulness. What you will not do is hop on one of their social media platforms with that Blackistan minded bullshit and talking about a white woman that's not in her prime. It doesn't matter what context you say it in. It's the fact that he even suggested or made reference to her age. That's the shit that black men are comfortable doing. And they made Don Lemon the example. Whether you suck dick or not, you're not going to get on our network and say whatever the fuck you want to say about white women. You better take that ghetto shit back to the black community where you disrespect your own group of women. And it's not even a matter of whether or not they even like Nikki Haley or not. They're not going to send a message that it's ever okay to be ageist or disrespectful towards one of their own. It doesn't matter what they say about them. You don't have that right. That's a conversation that's by invitation only. Whereas black men have always let outsiders disrespect black women, and they've always been somewhere front and center agreeing with it like the traitors they are, including your cowardly unicorns. So none of them ever sent the message that it was not okay to talk about y'all like dogs or that there will be any consequences for doing so. And so this just highlights yet another way that your community has failed black women. The black men don't stand for anything, and neither do the women until it's time to cry over certain skin tones and other bullshit. Don't matter. Now, when you insult somebody of a certain skin tone, then that's when they get pissed off enough to say something. But outside of that, they usually don't say anything. And see, this shit never would have gotten this far out of hand if your man backed you up when you got insulted. But unfortunately, you come from a community of cowards. But these white men and these other groups of men, they're not just going to give you the platform to be able to attack their women like that. Black men, not so much.
Look, hold on one second. Gym time. Are you dusty? Gym time. Are you dusty? You got 5 seconds to figure out whether you dusty or I'm gonna ban you because I know you know how to unmute yourself. There you go. Get the fuck on. Anyways, Melanie, how are you, dear?
Hey y'all, I'm good. How are y'all?
A fucking amazing.
I think that this whole thing, like I don't know a whole lot about him, but I've heard about him in like the media sector, streets and stuff. But he's just like the rest of them, like him. They think they can get anywhere, talk shit about women, drag us, think they can disrespect us, buck up and fight us, and just like they a woman. And he found out in his position he can't do that, especially with the
you know, non-black women. I mean, what was he thinking? But like I said, they got this entitled mentality. I think they are just as dangerous as some of these women.
Look, oh boy, we got us a king in here.
Oh
This
God.
motherfucker's name is King of the 916. And I honestly think you was gym time. Your camera wasn't on and none of that shit. But, I'm just putting two and two together. He says, Zaddy will kill your ass just like Pookie. Don't get it twisted.
Dude, shut up.
Listen, okay? Y'all, ladies in the chat, it's comments like this that are hilarious to me. We're going to be up here for 2 hours, okay? 2 hours before that, plus these 2 hours will be 4 hours, okay? One of y'all done got taken out by the time we play the ending credits around this bitch, okay? Sir, are you gonna kill a black woman? I'm just concerned. Why the fuck are you here? Are you here to take up for Don Lemon? Maybe. I don't know what your deal is. I don't know who the fuck you think you scaring with that nonsense, but the main killer of black women is motherfuckers that look like you. You nasty shit log having, no job having, 5 baby mama having, funky motherfucker. Okay? Like I said, I could change this title to Smoke Night, but don't be down there twerking in my motherfucking chat. Are you out your goddamn mind? Y'all, I can't. I'm here to talk about Don Lemon and his bullshit. Bye, bitch. Bye. I can't. Y'all, anyway, Don Lemon also disrespected the fuck out of Soledad O'Brien. I know, mammies. I know. She's a fucking preference, and sometimes y'all get triggered by the preference. If it make you feel any better, her motherfucking mama's black. Does that help? Because you stay in competition with the fucking, so-called preferences. And when something happens to them, you tend not to give a fuck. You just want to sit there and point out that she's a preference. But if it helps her mama's black, I don't know. But anyway, Don Lemon went on ahead and did the same thing to her that he did to Nancy Grace. First of all, Don Lemon is a fucking misogynist. Let's just keep that part real. He does not like you. He has a severe case of coochie envy. Let's get that part correct real quick. The fact that you walking around here with all the parts that you need, he's fucking pissed about that shit. And so is King of the 916. Ain't that right, pussy? I can't. Hey, Kyra, how are you?
Good evening, DZ. Good evening, ladies. It looks like it's Kyra night, so I thought I'd call up.
Hey, Kyra. Hey, Kyra.
Hey, Melanie, I'm glad to hear you.
I'm glad to be on here.
Well, but you see, I don't actually think he's going to play the race card unless I'm out of the loop. I think he's going to play the Roy G. Biv card. I do Eiffel Towers. I take it in the mouth and the ass at the same time.
No, the mammies are playing the race card. Oh, he definitely gonna play the bussy card. Fuck you talking about?
Exactly.
Seriously, he gonna play. Listen, it does not matter. Listen, to the mammies, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Those Roy G. Biv people, the multi-letter mafia, yeah, a lot of those ones that happen to be your men, they have opted for your womanhood instead of being a man because they can't do it. And you make womanhood look very, very easy. So they go ahead and don you as a costume, right? And then they go ahead and they fail at that as well. They use it as a guard to try to make sure that nobody can come for them. They got you guarding the back and the Roy G. Biv guarding the front. They are protected like a motherfucker, but Don Lemon found the fuck out the hard way. Nefertiti, you got anything on this?
Well, I guess. I mean, all I really have to say is with all that allyship and all that transitioning, somehow the misogyny stayed intact. I find that it's
coochie envy. It's dead ass coochie envy. I'm serious.
Oh, it is. Please,
well,
go ahead.
to interject, DZ, you've been sounding the alarm about that for the last 2 years, that these Roy G. Biv dudes are not our allies and to keep them out of black women's spaces. But, they were attacking you, saying you were all types of phobic and just a hater and shit. But you've been sounding the alarm about them.
But see, the thing is, there's a phobia for everything they've created.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep a black woman's space or a black woman's movement exclusive to black women is somehow a problem around these parts. including when it comes to their kind, but other groups of people, period. I'm saying that that's the new narrative now, that we hate white people because we try to keep a black woman's space exclusively for black women, which is the most ludicrous load of bullshit I've ever heard in my entire life, seeing as how most of us are dating or married to white men. But this is the type of shit these motherfuckers put out there when you try to gatekeep. Because black women ain't allowed to gatekeep shit, apparently.
Mm-mm.
We really not.
This is Nikki Haley, y'all, the lady that Aaliyah was talking about earlier. The one that Don Lemon said hit the wall, basically, and that she's out of her prime. I find that real special coming out of the mouth of a 51-year-old. Y'all know what I would have said in Discord. A 51-year-old.
It's always them, but it's always the old, and that's what always gets me. It's always the oldest ones of either black males or that group that want to tell somebody about their age and about their accomplishments. It's like, I'm gonna need you, if you can, go take a seat. Because go ahead, I'm sorry.
DZ, you mean a 51-year-old cicada?
No, that we say cicada up here all the time. It's the other F word that I love so much. Yes, ma'am. It's the other F word. But listen, Don, what you forgot about is this. What you was pretending like is if you left CNN, because you are CNN in your little peanut brain, you are the network. They are gonna go ahead and continue your show without you. Honey, you don't mean a goddamn thing. Your two co-hosts, baby, they moving right along without you. They gonna have their morning show without you. Zaddy's daughters are going to make it. You and your group, no matter how much dick you suck, is not going to let you sit up there and talk shit about his daughters, his sister, his mom, and his wife, like y'all do, right? Other groups of men do not play that shit, right? And if they do it behind closed doors, or they just say women in general. You motherfuckers say black women all the time. And then when you do something really, really weird, you start talking about racism and shit and start trying to sound like a pro-black so you can reel the people that walked away from you back in. This ain't how that shit works. Y'all, I'm loving this shit. I'm sorry, but this shit, when I heard he got fired, I was like, finally, y'all are 15 years too late on this shit. Don Lemon has been a notorious diva. He has not been able to work with women for his entire tenure of his work at CNN. He's never been able to. He has had numerous complaints about how disgusting he is, how disrespectful he is, how he does not know how to go ahead and make sure he doesn't invade other spaces, going through people's desks, snatching people's mics. And this is why he's sober. He acts even more ugly when he's goddamn it drunk. But at the end of the day, no matter whether he's educated or he sucks dick down to the base, he's still a black motherfucking man. Okay, and when you say that right there, you ought to know he full of shit. Anybody got anything on this before I move the fuck on from Don Lemon and his bussy bopping pass? No? Okay, well, let's
try it, Don. You tried it.
But ladies, are any of us really surprised? And those of us who've worked, we all know that the cicadas grape out on the job regularly, no matter how educated they are. It doesn't. So it's not really a surprise. This was just, like DZ, you said, it's been 15 years in the making.
I guess
Right.
I got to say,
Nope.
na 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 na
Na na na na.
hey hey
Goodbye.
Oh, CNN was like, y'all, CNN, shout out to CNN.
This is Sparta!
CNN gave him the flip flop.
Get your motherfucking nasty dick sucking ass out of here, bitch. I love it. And we got a couple more to go. Okay? Shit. All these guys, y'all, when we be playing these news stories, all these niggas that be holding the microphone, I hate when they let them do the field work because it's like, I can't stand them, but we got to get the story. So we got to sit there and listen to some sort of weird ass Kool-Aid drinking fucking journalist introduce the story. That shit gets on my nerves every time. Now, let me look at the chat because it's time to piss some folk off. Oh, I bet these bad as she went in on Ralph. I bet she don't say nothing about them little girls because they Look, let me look at the chat. Are y'all look, Kiana said, who are these people? Does anybody in the chat know who these girls are?
I
Let's
do, and this story pissed me the
No.
fuck off. But go ahead.
I don't know
all
who they are.
right. You do? Okay.
I don't.
Okay, here we go. These two girls here. So they were going to the store, okay? And since they wanted to take a shortcut through a gated neighborhood, they said, fuck it. We could take a shortcut through a gated neighborhood no matter whether it's gated or not. So they took their shortcut, and one of the neighborhood watchmen came out and said, hey, what's going on? They got a little jiggy. So he called the cops. While he was on the phone with the cops, he told the cops, there's two ghetto girls, Section 8 girls, that won't identify themselves. Can I get an officer out here? He said that shit. And I thought the shit was fucking hilarious. You want to know why? Because whenever y'all get mad at each other, don't y'all call each other ghetto and ratchet? Look, bitch, how many times have I been called ghetto and ratchet just because you don't agree with what the fuck I'm saying? He didn't say black, not one time. I dare one of y'all to go ahead and find where he brought race into it. Because whenever I say you motherfuckers is on Section 8, you reply with white people are on Section 8 too, don't you? But since you want some of that Ben Crump money, huh? All of a sudden, when you say Section 8, it does identify your black ass. Ain't that true? Y'all talk out of both sides of y'all neck. Let me ask y'all this. Do you know what the fuck a gated community is? Do you know what that is? It's saying, hey, this is a private community unless you live out here or are visiting someone out here. Don't bring your ass out here. It's for the fucking residents only. Well, with black people, they don't know how to follow directions. They don't. Or they think they don't have to follow the rules because they're above the rules because of, slavery and shit. So the little girl on the left, actually both of them, said that we live in the area. Ma'ams, I don't give a fuck if you live in the area. Do you live in that subdivision? Do you live in that subdivision? Nope. Okay, well then they kept going. We know somebody that lives there. Were you visiting them at the time? I got the news report. We getting ready to go over this shit. I love it. Anybody got anything before I start?
Yeah, I got a lot to say, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and present because I'm about to go in because as somebody who lives in a gated community,
I do too.
yeah.
Let's go.
A vice principal at Sunnyside High School in Fresno Unified is now on paid administrative leave. This was after he was caught on camera making what some would consider racist comments at two teenagers on his day off. Now, this incident, by the way, happened off campus.
Fox 26 News reporter Myra Franco spoke with those teens today about what led to those comments and shows us the video.
He didn't even do nothing, so we recording.
When somebody asks you, they're part of the police, neighborhood watch, or whatever. Hey, you guys got any business here? Why do y'all take that as some sort of insult? When you got motherfuckers out here R-wording, robbing, tearing up shit, vandalism, whatever, don't you want somebody to make sure that the neighborhood's safe, or are you guys loving dangerous neighborhoods? How hard is it to say, oh, we just cutting through, or oh, we know somebody that lives out here? Or are y'all above answering questions? Because you're going to run into a lot of issues this summer if that's the case, because people are cracking the fuck down. Now, let's go.
Recording you right now. That that's harassment, right? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Absolutely, it's harassment. You're a grown ass man. We're minors, though.
She said, you're a grown ass man and we're minors. Do y'all not even see anything wrong with that sentence? You just admitted that you was a child, right? But you're cussing at motherfucking grown people. See, this is why don't nobody give a fuck about your kids anymore, and you're finding people ass up in the air fighting your kids back. We're minors. I want y'all to keep that in mind, because when the news people talk to this little girl, I want you to hear what she says. She said that they're minors and he's a grown ass man. Keep it in mind.
The video from Sunday shows Fred Viandal, a vice principal at Sunnyside High School, telling the girls recording
Look how close she walked up to him. His back is turned. This that Ben Crump shit. Let's keep going.
Is on the board of directors at this gated community in North Fresno. Following the heated exchange, he appears to be talking on the phone with police when he says,
Officer,
So
you
how
got
you
three
like it in
girls
your
here.
face?
3 Section 8
How you
people
like it
here.
in your face?
Ghetto girls.
How you like
Ira
it in your
Shrub has lived near the area for 4 years. Regina Lewis, 6. So what led up to this? Shrub and Lewis say they were walking through the gated community to cut their walk in half.
Shrub's mom tells me they actually have access to this gated community because they know somebody who lives here. She said
That is not correct. You don't have access. Listen, I know somebody that works in the mayor's office in my city. I do. That doesn't mean I have access to that building whenever the fuck I want because I know somebody that work up there. I hope you get my drift.
her daughter and her friend actually take this area as a shortcut so they avoid walking the whole way around to the store.
They say the shortcut usually saves them around 10 minutes, but this time they took even longer when they spotted the man recording them. What hurts, they say, are the words he used.
Why would you even say some stuff like that for minors?
It's unnecessary. You don't have to do all that, you know? Like, you don't have to racial profile us for no reason. Like, I feel so bad because, like, I'm, as a Black woman,
There it is. There it is. They pick and choose the words, right? So in less than 2 minutes, she went from a minor to a black
woman.
You got me fucked up. Which is it, ma'am? Are you a child or are you a Black woman? I can't with this disgusting shit. Y'all playing. The Black community is full of bullshit like this. Sitting up here looking like they fixing to do a 2023 version of the movie Baps with Holly Berry. This is what this shit look like to me.
That's what I thought too. I'm so happy you said that. Thank you. I feel better.
Are y'all serious? Mind you, if y'all are really astute and you're discerning, he didn't say anything to them. He just recorded them. So she whooped out her phone and she started the conversation. So I guess Ben Crump, he didn't mention anything about race. Nothing. They mentioned something about race. By the way, if you live in a gated community, you feel what the fuck I'm saying. You don't get to, how the fuck did you get in there in the first place? Huh? Was y'all climbing the fence? Go ahead, Aaliyah, because I can't with this bullshit. I don't know whether you want to address them as grown women, minors, or whatever, because I'm confused.
See, this is what irritates the fuck out of me about Black people, period. The entitlement. See, they think they can do whatever the fuck they want to do, irrespective of propriety. And see, they act like this is their world and everybody else is just living in it. They want respect, but they don't feel like they should have to respect other people. And see, I remember once upon a time when they used to call this shit trespassing, and you couldn't just trespass on private property at will. And as someone who lives in a gated community, this is what I've been talking about also. Black folks claim they want to be able to police their own communities, but don't understand that this is part of that policing that other people also reserve the right to do with theirs. This is what neighborhood watch is all about. And your kids should not be the exception to the rules. It's irrelevant whether they know somebody who lives there or not. They don't live there. And they should not be allowed to breach these people's gate, which is there for a reason, and walk through their community taking shortcuts. Excuse me? Those people stay there and they pay rent. And the rent is too fucking expensive in these places for people to think they should just have the privilege of walking through your gated community. What's to stop other people from doing that anytime they feel like you're following their lead? It's not just okay to enter people's gates and walk through their community. It's disrespectful.
Hold up. I got to bring up something because I know good and well out of the 1,000 people that's here, somebody's in their feelings. Okay, we talking about 2 girls, right? 2 girls, they're innocent, they're minding their business, they just taking a shortcut. Y'all bitches, y'all don't like Black girls. Okay, let's look at 2 different little girls that was in a community that wasn't supposed to be there. Do y'all remember this? Because there were 2 girls just walking in a gated community. Then there was another set of 2 girls that were just going home to eat their food. Let's see what happened with those 2 girls. There's the 2 girls. There's the girls trying to go home. Let's see what happens. if you're confused by any way, those two girls were just in that neighborhood minding their business, air quotes. The other two girls were trying to go home and eat their food. Well, the first two girls, they came down the stairs and tried to rob the first two girls. Now, when the first girls were just minding their business, y'all want everybody pretend like they innocent. They weren't supposed to be there. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So the girls that were going home to eat their food had to shoot the fuck out of the motherfucking bitches. You understand what I'm saying? I asked you, what are you doing here? And if you don't answer me, I'm calling the cops. I don't give a fuck about how you feel about me and you being black. What are you doing here? Because black people fuck up black people like a motherfucker. Go ahead,
And
Aaliyah.
see, I don't expect any less from a group of ghetto ass people who raised ghetto ass kids. Now all of a sudden it's illegal to call people ghetto because this man could possibly be fired now for calling their behavior what it is. But that's the world we live in. Hell, like you were saying earlier, we get called ghetto all the time. So I need to know where I can lodge my complaint on YouTube because we know that breaching someone else's gate without permission for that for whatever reason when you don't live there, you're not making any deliveries, you aren't law enforcement, you aren't there on any official business, and you're not an authorized visitor is absolutely unacceptable. And see, I'm an active field investigator about to be active again, and even I can't just stroll up into an apartment complex looking for people without going through apartment management first. And my job has gotten so much harder because of ghetto bitches like this showing up to fight these women over men and fight these men over their other women and literally destroying property. Thanks to that shit, I can't even be granted interest into different living communities, and I'm there to look for your community super spreaders. So I'm speaking from professional experience as well. You can't even do a walkthrough because you feel like it. And the bigger problem here is that you literally can't say anything to these monsters now without people punishing you over it. And it starts with them coming in the gate and walking through the community whenever they feel like. Then next comes the break-ins, and then the destruction of personal property and everything else comes next. When they can't get into something, they just start breaking in and tearing up shit. And I'm experiencing this right now. And where I live looks nice, but it's the entitled ass people who feel like they should have the same privileges as the people who pays thousands of dollars in rent. Look here, just because your mammy's rent was only $200 this month doesn't mean that everybody else also has to pay for your pathway to the store through their gated community because it's convenient for you. Who do you think you are? And what's sad is that this community gasses their head up so bad, instead of teaching them right from wrong, they carry attitudes like, what's the big damn deal? You know, they do the same thing when they think they can just walk across people's lawns after they've done the work to keep their yards looking nice. The big deal is you don't get to just walk through people's shit and tear it up or make it look trashy, especially when they pay good money for the right to live there or pay for their shit to look a certain way. But then again, black folks communities tend to look like shit, so they wouldn't know anything about that. And this is also why homeowners associations exist. You're not just going to move somewhere that people are paying expensive mortgages and property taxes to live and then run the area and the property taxes down. Nobody wants.
Anybody got a problem with what's going on right now? Go ahead and click that link. See, let me tell you what the deal is, okay? What the deal is, what you thought was that trauma bonding was going to happen over black men. Y'all, when I tell you to divest from the black community, I mean get your ass away from people that get offended by shit like this. Where's the lie? If anybody disagrees, that link is right fucking there. When people are doing some shit they got no business doing, they gonna get their issue. I don't give a fuck who they are. How many times have y'all seen bitches that look like this throw people up under the bus, throw black women up under the bus, set them up for robberies, set them up for SA? I hate that you can't say that shit up here. Set them up for all kind of shit for the black male. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your goddamn mind? The rules are the goddamn rules. Let me move this from right here real quick, because I want you to take a look at this sign and see what the fuck it says, because reading is fundamental, black folk. Let me pull this up. All right. This is a neighborhood crime watch sign. At the bottom, it says we immediately report all suspicious activities to our police department. What the fuck do you think that means? What do you think that means? If you taking a shortcut through someplace that you're not supposed to be, then somebody's going to call the police. But what you want to do is trauma bond over the fact that black men don't want you, and I'm not here for that shit. I don't care what black men want. I seriously don't. If you still want to beg black men to find you attractive, build communities, take care of your babies, and not throw black women up under the bus, so called, what you got to do is go to birds. You got to go to pathology eagles. You got to go to these places where they still give a fuck about what black men want sexually, romantically, society wise. I don't give a fuck whatsoever. I'm not here to hug you and tell you, I'm so sorry the black man don't want you. Won't you try some white dick? Nobody's here for that shit. I'm telling you to get the fuck away from these people because all they do is wash, rinse, and repeat. White people are racist to me. Let's get Ben Crump. Oh, we don't have the opportunities. There's no jobs. There's no food. This is look, leave the community alone, and every last one of those problems will go away immediately. Okay? So, like I said, if you don't like it, click the goddamn link. Period.
They're not going to click the link. They're cowards. They would just rather throw subliminal shots at us or go to other platforms and talk shit about us. That's what they want to do. Don't know. But see, the thing is, anything we say up here, we meant that shit. They don't have to like it. It matters not. Don't nobody give a fuck. This channel was set in place to give our own opinions of the situation. If they don't like it, they don't have to listen. But what they don't seem to understand is not everybody wants to live in shitholes just because certain people feel entitled to walk through other people's neighborhoods. But if I know Blackistan, and I do, they will make them victims and cry racism instead of using this as a teachable moment about maneuvering through the real world. And in the real world, you respect other people's things and other people's homes and other people's property and shit like that. But see, they don't believe in teaching life lessons.
Let me call on somebody real quick. Anybody got anything on this? Because y'all fixing to get real embarrassed in the next 60 seconds. I'm just warning you. So you better get out your feelings immediately. Get out your feelings because you fixing to get the egg off your face. I specialize in putting eggs on bitches' faces.
Well, DZ, oh, sorry. Go ahead now. I'll go after you.
Okay, thank you. I was just going to say, I'm so happy you brought up the whole reading thing, because that's all I was thinking is like, why are we suddenly saying, well, those are just, those are black girls. It's like, so they're not supposed to read either. I think like my thing is like you just said, there are signs. Where I live, we have a neighborhood watch. If you don't know how to read the sign coming into the neighborhood, you probably shouldn't come into the neighborhood. Like if you don't know how to read, you should not be walking, or I don't know. Like I don't feel bad for her not being able to read, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I just don't like that inconsistency.
They don't think they have to follow the rules. What you're supposed to do as a society is look, see that they're black, and then make concessions. They are supposed to get special concessions. They don't have to do what everybody else does. They want to get right out of high school and become the CEO of Google. They don't want to have to start out at the bottom and work their way up and that type of shit. If they get their high school diploma, and that's if you don't give them a 6-figure job right out of there, motherfuckers say that that's denying them opportunities. Like motherfuckers don't have $100,000 worth of student loans that they paying back because they had to go to school to get that goddamn $100,000 job. No, what black people think is that he don't get in trouble. Y'all need to give him a good job. No, that's not how that works. Everybody got to get it out the goddamn ground, bitch. That's how that works. They have to read signs. They have to follow laws. And if you don't think so, keep doing what you're doing, and they're going to keep putting your kids down. Because I know I will if one of them fuck with my shit.
I just wanted to... Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say one thing. It's like, they're real touchy about respect me. Respect me. But the problem is they don't do anything to be respected. See, that's the thing. They're not going to get it doing what they're doing, but they're definitely not going to respect anybody else. But boy, they want that respect. People have gotten shot, killed, stabbed, beat up over respect or the lack of. The whole community is like a raw bunch of feelings and no rationality at all.
Go ahead, Kyra, because I'm ready to start throwing these eggs.
Okay, two things. One, I do want to confirm that Kyra you see on the screen, that is me after I went through a Pepto pill course. But in reality, I guess I'm going to be elitist Kyra for a minute. This is something called respectability politics. If you look like a hood rat, you're going to be treated like a hood rat. They stuck out like a sore thumb walking through that neighborhood just looking like that. It sounds ugly, it sounds mean, it may be unfair, but you are judged by your appearance. And if you look like a hood rat, you're going to be judged accordingly. That's all.
That's it.
Oh,
But
can I
see, I
jump
don't
in
even.
too before you move on? I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
just
go
wanted
ahead,
to.
Snapple.
Okay, so made a couple observations. Firstly, from the report that you played and from what I read, it sounds like they
Bless you.
approached. Oh, sorry,
Somebody
I don't know who
sneezed.
that
My
was.
bad. Go ahead.
That's okay. It sounds like they approached him. We saw it on the video where they were antagonizing him, running up on him. I mean, that is ghetto Section 8 behavior. So they ran up on him acting belligerent. And so, it is what it is. And then two, you and a lot of other people have been covering what the kids have been doing in Chicago and elsewhere in the country. A lot of those children are girls. Like, let's not pretend that, like you just played with the clip, like it's not just the boys that we have to be leery of. These girls are out here wilding and cutting up and jumping on people and doing way worse with the boy kids, and it's just a mess. So yeah, absolutely. Like they could have been casing the place. They could have came back with their crew. So yeah, he did the right thing. He probably was just gonna ask his neighbors, like, do y'all know them? Like, why were they here? But they rolled up on him and antagonized. So they got a response, which was him actually calling for help, and making a description. So I think it's messed up that he has to lose his job or be placed on an administrative leave. I think it's terrible the way the community and their kids know that they can weaponize racism and literally just behave badly and then get rewarded with sympathy and payola. It just irritates me. That's all.
Speaking of these goddamn people losing their jobs, right? He hasn't lost his job yet, y'all. Fortunately, he's on paid administrative leave. The county did the right thing. But since y'all are interested in doxing, right? And people losing their jobs for talking bad to black kids, we got to get our paperwork together, ladies, because I have a clip, right, of someone talking really, really nasty and threatening to some girls that look just like them. Okay. It's a full screenshot of his face. Okay. He's there for a very long time. So somebody knows him. So since y'all found that vice principal and got him put on administrative leave, I'm going to need for y'all to go ahead and find this man as well. By the way, I will be stopping this halfway through because the rest of it cannot be played here. That's why this shit is disgusting. The ladies that's on my Patreon, after we get off here, before I come to Discord, I'm going to upload the rest of the video and y'all will see why this couldn't be played on YouTube, but it's fucking disgusting. So let's go ahead and find this guy as well.
Couple, these hoes think they everything. I don't give a fuck who you call. I stay with my gun on me on the train. Call the motherfucker to their death site. I'm not gonna these little high school goofies y'all be arguing with in the hallway. I'm gonna call my brother. Call him. Your ass gonna die. And if we was on the streets, I would have shot her ass because you making a call. Now my life in danger. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with y'all little ass girls. Y'all out here playing games with grown ass men. Niggas gonna stand up with one of y'all ass. Y'all so pretty and so precious. Motherfucker gonna stand over y'all ass.
This is Monroe.
Got time for that shit. Y'all out here choosing and sucking dick y'all wanna suck. These lame ass dick y'all be sucking. Lame ass hoes. Y'all deserve a lame ass nigga.
Doors closing.
Playing with none of y'all little ass hoes. You fucked up.
Late is next. Doors open on the left at Lake.
I'm in 30. I'm fucking bitches your age, my age, older than me. All that. Y'all hoes. All that. Yeah, you can call it. I'm fucking them.
Okay. That ain't my problem.
Damn, call the police.
Let me shut up because I'll flood your ass.
You gonna flood? Who you gonna flood?
Please.
Who you gonna flood? Flood me with what?
Don't say nothing.
I don't give a fuck about y'all being no little girl. She open her mouth to me.
Don't say nothing.
Fuck you mean?
Don't say nothing.
Ain't no age on no mouth.
Blue line trains at Lake.
You out here sucking grown dick.
This is a red line train to Howard.
Fuck you talking about, bitch? Talking about you gonna throw your age out there? Fuck if y'all was 11. Dog.
We have to stop right there because it gets really disgusting. But he told him he would fuck them. He doesn't care how old they were. He doesn't care if they were 11. Y'all gonna get shot and all this shit here. So since you saw his face, where is the doxing? I'll wait, because not only did he threaten them, he said some really disgusting shit to him. And I swear to God, I wish I could play the rest up here. I can't do it because it'll definitely get flagged. This motherfucker, he's right there. And I believe that was 5 girls he was talking to, all underage, telling them that they're sucking random dick. He fucking girls their age. He didn't give a fuck whether they were 11. So where you at? I want to know where the fuck you are, since this hurt so bad what's on the screen right now. Huh? Nobody said anything about this, and this just happened a couple of weeks ago. So where are you? Y'all are full of shit. I swear to you. That's why I can't with y'all. I can't do it. Anybody got anything on that disgusting ass video? And like I said, the rest of it will be up later, y'all.
That was so disgusting. I'm sorry, Ma.
Nobody's gonna say nothing about him because they don't want to, another man lost to the system, messing with his image, another black man down. You know how it go. They ain't gonna say nothing.
Beloved Strummer, the panel is open, dear. It's open like a motherfucker. I'm trying to get some questions answered around this bitch, since it's so fucking criminal, right? To ask these girls where they were going in a gated community. I'd like to know, why isn't anyone coming for old boy that just said all this sexual and threatening shit to these 5 little girls on this train?
He said that with pride, DZ. He said that he will engage with an 11-year-old girl with pride. He didn't hesitate. There was no stuttering. He's done it. I mean, we're talking, that man is a P word, right? Like, it's not even a maybe. No, he is. He's literally telling you that's what he does.
You don't know how prophetic you are. You wait till you see the rest of that video on Patreon. He made some confessions on there, y'all, that cannot be repeated here. Okay.
See, this is okay though. They think it's okay for them to talk to little black girls like this. This is how comfortable they are with being disrespectful to little black girls. But we're the ones that are in the wrong when we tell these girls to stay away from them, to avoid them. See, you can't even ride the subway in peace without them harassing you. You literally can't do anything without them harassing you. But when it comes to somebody policing their own neighborhood, oh, that's the problem. And see, a lot of people are making it about their appearance, which I do agree. This is some ghetto ass shit, but I don't even think for him it was so much about that. See, the thing is, a lot of black women don't understand that attitude is everything. And this whole I can't nobody ask me no questions thing, that shit has got to go. When that man, it probably wouldn't even escalated that far if they answered the question when he asked them. See, we always bucking all the goddamn time, and it ain't even that serious because we don't even know how to de-escalate a situation. Because not only do the black men not have any proper resolution skills, neither do we. So when he was asking them questions, they feel like this white man ain't got no right to be questioning me about a damn thing, and they turned around and got smart about the whole goddamn situation. So now, since you want to stand out here and be smart asses instead of answering my question, let me call the police. See, if they had answered his question and just say, well, this is who we are, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going. Yeah, we do know somebody who live in the area, whatever. If they would have just had a normal conversation like normal people, he probably wouldn't have even called the police. But it's all that extra shit that we be doing that be part of the goddamn problem.
Yeah, I can't. Why didn't that clip from the subway make the news? Huh? And then notice the 2 different demeanors, okay? Like the little Kang that just came in here talking about Zaddy will kill you. Look, these girls that's on the screen right now knew goddamn well they wasn't in no fucking danger, right? So they got jiggy. They walked up in his personal space, put their phone in their face. But you know what they didn't do on that train? They didn't get up with that phone and put that phone in their face because they know black men are violent, and that motherfucking girl would have went flying across the goddamn room. So I don't believe they thought they were in any sort of danger. They were just looking for their mush mouth Ben Crump moment. I'm just keeping it real with you. Y'all, people is getting sick of your fucking kids. Okay, they have to worry about what the fuck is getting ready to happen next when they see your kids pull the fuck up because they always on some shit. Are y'all, when we was here last time, we said they was gonna do another team takeover, and they made good on it. They just did it in another city. Okay. Now, had he floored it, y'all would have been crying real BLM tears all over the place. That's what you want people to do when your kids come around. Just sit there, be very, very patient, and wait until they finish graping the fuck out. Everybody's not going.
I'm sorry,
Okay?
DZ, I have a question about this
Yes.
whole thing because I know there was that one in, I guess that was like Chicago, and now this one. Is this a trend? Are they really starting to do this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's
Holy
happening damn
shit!
near every weekend now. And it's just a matter of time before somebody floors it on their ass and turn them into bowling pins because everybody's not going. You love your kids and you're supposed to. But that doesn't mean everybody else loves your children. You on this We Are the World shit and that your kids can't do any wrong. But people, y'all, the economy is going bad. So people are stressed the fuck out. That man in that car looked like he had just got off a long ass shift and he didn't have time for the nonsense. But he got somebody that he got to support, if not just himself. So he didn't run over your children. He sat there and let them damage his car, jumping up and down on the shit, and they were having a time of their life. And guess what? The crowd was full of girls and boys. Huh? He don't want to be on the goddamn news having to answer questions and civil rights this and civil rights that and BLM this and all this shit here. They just kids ass shit. So he sat there and let his car get tore the fuck up. But make no mistake about it, bitch. I ain't from that tribe.
I told you they think this is their world and we're just living in it. Go
I'm gonna hop down and let someone else come up, y'all.
Okay.
Bye, Melanie.
Bye.
I was
Thanks
just
for
gonna
letting me
say.
up.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Thanks for coming up, Melanie. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Someone made a comment in the chat, and it's true. Where are the good black males? Where are they to come in and control the children and talk them de-escalate these situations?
They on the train telling 14-year-olds that he'll fuck them. You saw where they at, right? It's literally a mammy out here that'll tell you he was just trying to teach them, what can happen to them in the real world. That right there in the black community is called mentorship. That's called mentorship. What the fuck he was doing?
No, you didn't.
Yes, I
I think Kyra knows where all the good black men are, these unicorns. She knows where they are.
Shit.
Tell them, Kyra.
Well, they are bussy popping or they're LARPing as women.
Let's finish this stupid ass story. I hope this man keeps his job, but make no mistake about it, y'all. If they fire him from there, he'll get another one because they desperate as fuck for school staff.
I should be able to walk, and just walk peacefully without, people being racist for no reason.
They say they found out he was a vice principal at Sunnyside High School after posting the video to social media. Fox 26 reached out to Fresno Unified, who confirmed it has a copy of the video. In a statement, the district told us, "We are aware of the video circulating, and the district started an investigation into the matter early Monday. The labels used in the video do not align with the high standards we have for our Fresno Unified leaders and staff. And we want to assure our families that having respectful, inclusive, and loving adults serving in our school is of the utmost importance to Sunnyside and our district as a whole."
So basically, they put out a bullshit statement saying, "We know, we investigating, move on." Okay. But this is going to continue to happen, y'all, every time y'all kids come around. Okay. And I'm sorry if you have good children, the rest of these children are making it a bad place for kids that look like them. Okay. And if you do have good kids, why are you taking up for the bad ones? I find that very interesting. That dichotomy is very confusing to me. Why are you taking up for bullshit? Because this is why your neighborhoods are riddled with crime. You sitting up there crying about him or her not being able to go anywhere without other kids bullying them and shots firing and all that shit. That's because you condone the shit. If it's a neighborhood watch and a neighborhood watchman says, "What's up?" just answer them and keep going to go get your hot chili Fritos or what the fuck ever you quarter water. You feel me? What is that other shit called? Takis and all kind of hot shit y'all like to get from that goddamn store, and some fucking eco styler gel to make even bigger baby hairs on the side of your motherfucking face. That's all you got to do. Any motherfucking way. I'm running my goddamn mouth. I'm sorry.
No, I just, I hated that they brought that man's job into it when it was his neighborhood he's looking out for. I mean, it's a shame. You literally can't say anything to them at this point, but I will say this, these parents, you better get a hold of your children. I don't know about what means you have to do that by. Nobody is has the obligation to develop programs to keep your children entertained or busy. That's up to you to entertain your own goddamn children. See, this is what you call lazy parenting, when you expect a whole lot of people to come up with solutions to find your children something to do. That's nobody else's obligation but yours. And see, what you better do is find a way to get your children in check, or there will be a lot of fucking funerals this winter because they acting an ass already, and it's not even summer. So it's gonna be a lot of funerals to follow up this behind this bullshit. Because if y'all think people gonna just sit back and keep taking shit off y'all children because they children, while they disrespect every goddamn body, including people's property and every damn thing else, y'all are gonna be sadly mistaken.
I'd have
And I
floored it
hate
on
to
them kids. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'd have floored it on them and just got me an attorney. Because you don't know what that man had to do. Just clear the way so the motherfucker can go on about his life. I don't know what the fuck he got going on or whatever, but you don't block the road like that. What if he was experiencing a medical emergency? You don't give a fuck though, unless it's a Ralph motherfucker. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, bitch? Everybody else's life don't matter. I find that ironic, being that y'all shit is Black Lives Matter. That's cute as hell. I can't, y'all. I
These are
can't
the
do it.
these are the same folks that will lose their shit if you accidentally scuff their Jordans, but they think it's okay for them to tear up your whole car. Are you fucking kidding me? Most people need their cars.
Look, they they don't give a fuck, Kyra. The thing is, that commercial with that little animated general on it. That's where they get the insurance from, with a $8 million deductible. The general car insurance. They don't understand that type of shit. You just had a bitch a few months ago around Christmas buy a 1996 car for 300 and something dollars a month. I don't know if y'all remember that shit, but that went the fuck down. They don't understand money. They don't understand things cost. They don't understand that what investment is, and they don't get it. They don't get it, and nor do they care, because everything they get is damn near free, and that's why your ass got called Section 8 girls.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A lot of the stuff they get for free. And I don't understand how we go from, oh, the civil rights movement and black people just want a chance to move up and to this. I can walk wherever I want to walk. Bam.
That shit
I
get on my nerves.
mm-mm.
It does. Let me put this banner up.
DZ, you got a lot of people in the comments caping for these girls. Y'all gotta stop with the whataboutism. We don't care about how Becky or whatever we call them, the little young Beckys, would have been received. We have to worry about what's going on with us, okay? Like, stop it. That's
I'm
why.
not. I'm not seeing this, Snappo. Those of y'all that disagree, go ahead and type your shit again. I'm not
Yes.
gonna. I'm not gonna look at the other area, because I was getting ready to play y'all something else. Go ahead and disagree. I want to see what. Give me
Somebody
an
said I was
example.
a girl once, they were
That's
just
classic
passing
black
through.
thing.
It's like,
Yeah,
look,
deflection.
yeah, they were
Wait,
passing through, but this is a problem with Blackistan as a whole. They have a big problem with boundaries. Like, you can't do whatever the fuck you want. You can't. And the article I read said that one of these girls, Mammy Mother, was the one who said they should have been allowed to go through there because we know somebody. And then the article was misleading, talking about they've been in the area for 4 or 6 years, but they don't live in that gated community. So no, it's a gated community for a reason. Like, get the fuck out of here with that fucking bullshit. You can't do whatever the fuck you want. You can't. I don't give a fuck if you're a kid or not. If you're a boy or a girl, no. Learn the rules, respect the rules, or deal with the consequences. Period.
like
If you
Afro,
cannot pay,
like Afro said, listen, she asked, was y'all jumping fences? Those of y'all that type, because I didn't see it. Those of y'all that type, I was a young girl once. Yeah, I was too. But what I wasn't doing is jumping fences in order to get into other people's community. What I wasn't doing was setting up my friend so that she can get R worded by, whatever nigga I had a crush on. I wasn't out here jumping on citizens' cars when they're simply trying to get to their destination. I wasn't out here protesting. I wasn't down out here sucking dick down to the base. I wasn't doing any of that shit. So what type of teenager were you? Why are you identifying with such obnoxious behavior? Were you walking up on people that were simply trying to protect their neighborhood? You don't think any neighborhood deserves any protection? Really? Because you motherfuckers are the one that stay calling the cops whenever Tyrone go upside your head. Why don't you give him some grace? Because you know good and goddamn well that he's mentally unstable. So whenever you don't have your mouth guard in and he removes your chiclets, give him some grace. Because he's young, remember? He's supposed to be able to lose his temper because he's young. Look, I don't give a solid fuck. Mind your goddamn manners. Okay, just tell the neighborhood watch what the fuck you doing. And then here's the kicker. Okay, if he said, well, if the girl said we just cutting through to get to the store, he had the right to say, well, y'all can't do that. Is the answer supposed to be yes to everything? Why even ask the question then? Oh, that's right, y'all don't even ask. Okay, I got somebody in the back
That-
here. Go ahead.
well, that thing.
Go ahead, Ebony.
Just because the Black community let people and themselves trash their own community, that doesn't mean that everybody else is like that. Just because you feel like you have nothing to protect, that's not the same with everybody else.
Look, I came on here tonight knowing good and goddamn well the ladies that still have their foot stuck in Blackistan and still identify with mammies. I told you why they're here, because they just want to hear awful shit about black men. They're awful. I always drag their asses. But let's talk about why in the fuck you need to get away from the men and the women that identify with Blackistani citizens. They are destructive. There's nothing good coming out of that community. Do you at least agree with that? Huh?
And even if you identify with those girls and what they did, how can you not recognize that what you did was wrong in your youth and that they shouldn't be allowed to do it just because, oh, you did it and you were young? Like there's one thing to say, okay, there's, ignorance in youth, and there's this is a whole nother situation. What we're seeing these kids do now is not ignorance in youth. This is destruction.
They know that shit because whenever a white man that's really, really old, let's just say he's 90, right? And he uses the N word with the hard R, you never say he came from an era when he was younger that was common to say, because it was. You never identify with other shit. It's always about having your kids being able to be destructive. Back 90 years ago, that shit was commonly said in public. So, does the 90-year-old man deserve any grace because he came from another era? Because he's old? Because if you're going to give someone young grace because they come from a different era, then somebody that's old deserves grace because they came from a different era. Should people that own businesses be able to tell you that the black folks have to sit in the back by the kitchen because they came from a different era? They came from the South back in 1962. Why don't you ever provide them grace? Because they did come from a different era. No, that's right. You always telling a narrative that suits you and your kids being able to be jackasses. Period. Taj Mahal, are you dusty? Taj Mahal,
Hello.
are you dusty?
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. Now let me say this. Taj Mahal, are you dusty?
But I do have some comments on the girls walking through the neighborhood.
Okay, go ahead. Because I still did she answer y'all? Because StreamYards could be fucking up. Did
didn't
she
hear anything. It sounded like she said something and then she said, but I have. So sounds like something happened in the beginning, but then it was like, but I have. So I don't know if it cut out or not because I didn't hear the before that.
Okay, well, we're going to find out regardless. Taj Mahal, what you got on the little girl? I think you're experiencing a little technical difficulty, Taj Mahal. Honestly.
Seriously? I can hear you guys perfectly, right?
So why didn't you ask whether you were dusty or not?
I did. I answered. I said I didn't think I was dusty, but I do have some feedback on the girls walking through the neighborhood.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, so let's just imagine for a minute, since you and who is it? Ebony, somebody says you guys live in a gated neighborhood and you're just walking your dog. Yeah, exactly. Right. And you're just walking your dog and some dude or, white guy comes up and you say, well, what are you doing here? That's not your, it's not your business.
I don't have a problem with that because
I have a problem with that because guess what? They would not be asking Beckisha that and they would, and that's what I said in the chat.
Guess what? The thing is, if you are
you don't ask me what I'm doing here.
If you are where you're supposed to be, why can't anybody ask you a question? This is
because it's none of their business. I'm paying. You're not asking anyone else.
Exactly what I was talking about it. But you know what? Exactly what I was talking about.
Guess what? I live in a community too, an HOA, right? And I've witnessed this as well. And I'm not a mammy at all. I understand.
You are a mammy because that's the first thing you do is call up here and try to get booked. Don't book because if you book,
no, these are children. He should not be addressing children.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
The thing is, somebody can ask you a question if you are walking through their neighborhood at random.
But meanwhile, Brad with the AK-47 walking down the street, they're not asking shit of him.
Okay,
but you don't think you're a man. But the first thing you do is call up here and start talking shit about
because these are children. Back up, Vice Principal. Vice Principal. What are you doing with the black kids at your school?
And see, you are part of the fucking problem.
No, I'm not. I have a kid in a private school. And guess what they're not going to do? I know you don't. That's the problem, dude. That is the problem.
You are part of the reason why children don't respect fucking rules. You can't do what the fuck you want to do.
But they said they had access. How did they get in there? Did they jump the fence?
They probably did jump the fence. Did you not?
Let me tell you,
I doubt it. Do we know that? Or are we assuming that?
That's why they asked.
That's an assumption, guys.
That's why the fuck he asked.
I'm not.
And let me
hold on, Taj Mahal. Hold on, Aaliyah. You're not gonna overtalk me, motherfucking bitch. We sat up there and we sat through your goddamn technical difficulties. Okay, you're not gonna sit over here, overtalk motherfuckers, and mammy your ass off. What are you talking about? Assumptions? He asked questions, motherfucker. He asked, and they acted stupid. They should have answered, so he wouldn't have to assume. Now, what else the fuck you got before you go?
See, she
Dee, may I ask her? I have a go ahead, Dee. Only I'm so sorry.
No, she represents the bitch I was talking about. Don't ask me no questions because it ain't your fucking business. See, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. If I'm out walking the dog in the community and I live there, if someone
no one has the right to ask me every 5 steps.
I have no
who I am.
See, that's how you handle shit. Because you one of them ghetto Blackistan ass bitches. But if you
I'm not ghetto at all. I mean, it's clearly obvious I'm not ghetto.
I couldn't tell.
Todd, did you not see the clip? They approached him. They were antagonizing him. Oh.
Ghetto and Beckisha's.
Ma'am,
whatever.
I have a question. Are you a black woman, ma'am? Are you a black woman? Okay, hold on.
She's definitely black with that attitude. She's definitely black.
I'm just checking something. Give me a couple seconds, ma'am. May I ask a couple other questions? Secondly, would you consider yourself someone who is biracial, or are you a fully black woman?
100% black.
And this is not okay. Cool. So then, here's my thing to you. You are saying that because you live in the community, that you feel you do not have that others do not have the right to approach you. However,
correct.
My counter
unless I'm doing something crazy. I mean, if I'm just walking.
Sorry.
Damn. My bad.
All I am saying is, while I understand you may feel that way,
right?
You are a black woman living in a community, society, and at this point, I'm sure a nation created by white men.
A world.
So if they feel that they feel they need to question you because your counterparts and women who look like you are currently doing other things in the same vicinity area or down the freaking street, that's the consequence of,
I understand,
or unfortunately us sharing that
our situation.
Connection.
Yes,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Right. So at
100.
that
I get it.
point, you don't there's no reason for you to be mad at them. Your anger about his response should be turned around to why the hell are the rest of these bitches acting up to make people want to ask these questions? This is my
Well,
issue with the black community, madam. I'm not done. This
yeah, I
is my
understand.
issue with the
I
black
understand.
community,
But
ma'am.
here's the deal.
Let me
He
finish, ma'am,
okay.
madam. I have been extremely respectful to you. I'm going to
Okay.
ask you to let me finish.
All right. Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that.
Thank you. So, like I was saying, this is my issue with Black women and this community as a whole. And I don't say, I mean this community, not us ladies, but you know what I mean. This misguided anger, this misguided reprimanding that keeps going on, and then having the I'm going to just call it the audacity to think that while your group of people are out here literally every weekend now, the kids are basically tearing up, I mean, freaking cities. We see what's going on nationwide. Yet you feel people should be able to look at you, just like with that kid. I can't think of his name and I don't care. They're able to look at him and just know, because of the way he looks, that one's different. The idea, I want you to make that make sense. Tell me that you can go to a state right now, look at a white person and know whether or not they're a Klan member. Can you do it? Are you willing
I
to bet
cannot.
your life on that?
This is getting
No,
Okay,
I
then how
cannot.
dare you
this
expect
whole
that from them?
conversation.
No, it makes sense. I get
That's
it.
all I have to say.
Okay, I love that. Thank you. Thank you for putting that in perspective. But I just wanted to, that's just what I was feeling. And I just wanted
Girl,
to,
bye.
don't
DC,
block
get
me.
rid of her. Girl, DC, get rid of her.
Don't block me. Thanks
It's
for
the
hearing me out.
whataboutism for me. Like I was saying before, sorry, y'all, I ain't mean to be talking over the clip of old boy. I was just trying to say to Taj Mahal,
Yeah.
you know, in the clip, the girls were antagonizing him. They were up in his face, up in his personal space. He was just doing what he needed to do, making a call to figure out why these strangers who weren't supposed to be there were there. So I don't understand why you're focused on Beckisha. Like, to me, I'm sorry, but you sound like one of those that's like so hyper focused on the preferences and what the preferences get away with and who they chose, because this ain't even about them right now.
This
Like, why
is
would
classic.
you even bring them into it?
It's classic
Because,
Blackistan deflection is what
well,
it is.
because
Let's
the
start
reason why
talking about
they,
what other groups do.
so the reason why they even responded to him is because he was filming them out the gate, right? So that's why they responded. And what I was saying
Okay.
was, if it was some white girls walking through, he wouldn't have been filming
He
them. That's all I was meant.
he probably wouldn't. Can you
That's all
show
I
me?
meant.
Taj, I feel like you're being disrespectful as fuck. Honestly.
I'm not.
I honestly do, because the thing is, when somebody's talking, nobody needs your ad libs.
Oh, okay, my
y'all was
bad.
thinking, I'm serious. I really don't.
My bad.
The thing is, ma'am, black kids, they're bad. The reason you got your kid in private school is because you know that shit. Okay. You said that, yes, that's why your kid is in private school, because the public school sector is full of kids like these bitches that's on this screen. Okay. And you want your kid to get a goddamn, okay, here we go. Bye, Taj. I don't need that extra shit. Well.
Damn,
Yeah,
DZ.
no,
Somebody told me to ask her why she.
I can't stand that bullshit. Okay, that passive aggressive ass shit. Yes, ma'am.
No,
she didn't have nothing to say. Shout out to whoever. I'm sorry, not whoever. Not to the lady that told me to ask her why she didn't have nothing to say about that nasty, disgusting piece of garbage on that train that was harassing.
She didn't have shit to say about. She didn't have shit to say about him.
And you know
she's
what?
Still on that Blackistani bullshit. That's how they are.
She represents everything I was just talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
What she did just now in real life is what bitches do to us on the panel. They will skip right over the most heinous. You will show some grimy, gutter, disgusting, just demonic evil that a king will do. And the birds will skip right over that and be like, I don't like how they talk. That's basically what Taj Mahal just did.
And let the record show, I was nothing but had the utmost politeness for her. She kept cutting me off. All she had was attitude back. So when we start roasting and we continue to roast the fuck out of you all who come up here, don't get upset because we've already tried. I just showed this is what happens when we're polite. You think you're going to walk all over and be disrespectful? No, you get what is the fuck coming to you when you come up here from now on. I have lost all sympathy.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm there with you. The thing is this. These kids are terrible. Okay. Number one, she had nothing to say about the dude on the train. Number two, it's you don't have the right to ask me. Ma'am, the neighborhood watch got the right to ask you anything the fuck they want to. I don't care what you look like. Okay. And these two motherfuckers look like they was on some bullshit because that's what they look like. If you don't want to be associated with that, go ahead and throw your eco styler gel away. Quit pulling these goddamn bangs down and grease them down to your forehead. Stop with the long ass eyelashes because that's the uniform of the hood rat, and the hood rats are always taking up for kings and helping them in their destruction. But again,
My
she
thing
got her
is,
kid, she got her kid,
go
her
ahead.
child in fucking private school because she know these other schools are full of shit. Period.
DZ, see that that's what I was gonna bring up. Do these chicks on the screen honestly look like they belong in a gated community? No, they look like they belong in the hood.
I'd ask them too. I'm just keeping it real. I would at least, you know what? I wouldn't ask them. I just call the police because anytime you ask one of these birds anything, they take everything as offense. You could ask her where she got that ACDC shirt from. None of your motherfucking business. They always so fucking argumentative. I don't have time for this shit. I
Do
just call the
you think
cops.
I believe for 1 second her children are in private school with that attitude? Because, see, them bitches like her, this is who's raising these girls, and this is why their attitudes are exactly what they are. See, this is what I'm talking about. You call up here and say, well, you live in a gated community. You ask us a question and then try to get smart and talk shit when we attempt to answer it. I was attempting to answer her question because that's the difference between me and when it comes to bitches like her. Like I said, no resolution skills whatsoever. You want to be as hostile and start bucking and for absolutely no reason. You're escalating a situation, and it don't even have to be that serious simply because no one can ask you a fucking question. Who the fuck are you supposed to be? How about that? So if I'm out and I'm walking my dog in my neighborhood and someone asks the question, hey, do you live over here? Why should I get mad at that? Because guess what? I do. So how dumb is that? That's why I say it's dumb. I live here, I pay rent here. And if any more questions you got, I don't mind answering that. What's the problem? I'm not out of pocket. I'm not where I'm not supposed to be. So if you're doing what the fuck you're supposed to be doing, being asked a question shouldn't be a problem. But see, this is what happens when police stop and ask them questions. They act a whole ass like she called up here and tried to do, talking about they just kids. You can't be ass shit. That's part of the motherfucking problem. And that's why somebody will always end up laying you down because you run your fucking mouth too much.
What the fuck is wrong with asking somebody where are you supposed to be here? You know what? They've raised these women and girls, and we're not even talking about these kings right now because we already know they're trash, trash like a motherfucker. Established. They raise these women and girls that if anybody asks you anything, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful as hell. You're minding they business and all this shit here, but you don't mind putting a big ass, long ass soliloquy on that GoFundMe when you need some shit. You tell all your business. You tell them about your mama got one titty with a skittle in it. You telling all that goddamn business because you want something from them. But when you being indignant, can't nobody ask you nothing. Y'all gonna find out the hard way. I'm sorry for you because everybody not going. Okay, go ahead. I
Yeah,
didn't mean to
like,
cut you off.
but see, like I said, I've known shit like that my whole life. That's why I said, do you think I think for 1 second walking around with attitudes like that, and then she come with that, oh, they just kids type bullshit? No, fuck that. The thing is, that's why I say Blackistan don't know when to use certain situations as a teachable moment. The thing is, it's not about what's the big damn deal. They should be able to do it. The thing is, you don't pay to live in them folks' neighborhood, honey. I pay thousands of dollars in my fucking rent. You should not be able to enter my fucking gate whenever you feel like it, and you don't pay rent and you don't live here talking about walking to a fucking store. I don't care where you going. It's disrespectful. And then when somebody asks you, do you even belong over there? And you don't even live there on top of that. That's why I say They have no respect for nothing or nobody, nobody's property, nobody's space. They just think they're supposed to do whatever the fuck they want to do, and ain't nobody supposed to question shit that they got going on. The parents are entitled like that, and they raising little entitled bastards to walk around talking the same way to people. Because I guarantee you, the same way she just called up here talking was the same way them girls talk shit to that man when he asked them where they was going.
You know,
Well, they're getting tired of it, Aaliyah. I'm
when
sorry.
people like when y'all see these black folk out here, they film everything, right? They're always filming some shit. And when they're filming it and somebody asking, why you filming it? They say, because this is a public space, I have the right to film. Okay, so the man was filming you in his community. What happened to that being his right? You get what I'm saying? It always changes when it comes to them. They always want special treatment. So you can film whatever you want, but he can't step out being in a neighborhood watch and film you because he in your space. Girl, you in his space. You don't even know what the fuck a mortgage is. You don't even know what a decent interest rate is. Talking about you know some shit. Get the fuck up out of here. And yes, ma'am, I've seen several of those evictions where people were squatting and they tear up people's property and all that shit there. And you know why people are having not having sympathy for folks that's in need. You know, I really feel bad for the ones that really need help. But man, the people that's just taking advantage of everything, they're fucking it up for the people that actually need some shit. How the fuck you didn't pay anything? The owner don't know you in there, and you tear up the goddamn place, and it's thousands of dollars worth of damage. Okay, the check is always in the fucking mail.
And one more thing about that. See, she said that her children are in private school. My thing is, imagine having your child in a school where you're actually paying tuition for your kids to attend. Is it then right for regular kids to walk in off the street because they want to see what's going on in the school that you actually have to pay to send your children to? It's not a public school, correct? The same way a privacy fence or a gated community is there for a reason, for security purposes, right? So the same way you pay for your children to attend a private institution, is it now okay for anybody whose child who wants to walk in to just walk in, and they supposed to be able to pull up a desk and sit next to your child because they feel like it? They just kids, right?
Yeah,
That
she the
concept
Davis Kids Brigade.
Right.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Snapple, you're fine. Trust me. Kyra, were you going to say something before I check the back?
Yes, I wanted to say, see, it's attitudes like this when Black women are trying to move into a nicer community. This is why Black women get side-eyed, because you don't want to follow the rules, and written and unwritten. You want to let everybody and their mama come up in your shit. You give everybody the code, and you ruin it. That's why. I mean, we all know that. Like, how many times have mammies let their worthless ass thuns or man of the week move into their place, tear up the community center in their luxury condominium, and rinse and repeat?
Make no mistake about it. The people that those girls claim they know, because I don't believe that shit either. But the people that they claim they know that actually do live in that community, they up to chop necks. Make no mistake about that. They're going to find out if these girls actually know somebody that live out there, and those residents are going to catch hell. No, you did not bring that trash out here to this community. Okay? Now, again, that's why we not invited no fucking place. True Gal, is this your account or are you Dusty?
Yes, ma'am. This is my account. Hi, everyone. Hi, ladies. Hi, DZ. So I was sitting here like clapping, fire emojis. I was so happy that you all made the comments that you did, and pointing out the delusional and entitled attitude of the Blackistani community, especially with regards to these young ladies. It's the entitlement attitude, and I hate to almost say it, but it's almost like a distraction to them actually fulfilling a goal. I work with people who are, and I don't want to, please back me up or don't say that, but there are people fighting to get into, hey, Snapple Apple, there are people fighting to get into the United States. There are people who get here and become millionaires or whatever. They fulfill a life goal. But I just see the Blackistani community getting constantly distracted, and it's it's this type of discussion that they'll drag on for years and years and years, and they don't do anything, and it's just
they're not going to do anything, true girl. What you see is
Right.
what you get. What you've always seen is what you're going to get. You're going to see another situation like this with these two girls next week. Okay. Before we make it back here by Friday, it's going to be some more controversy and more controversy because it's going to be some little bastards somewhere they're not supposed to be. And they mama going to co-sign it, clapping like a dumbass motherfucking audience member that's at a Cirque du Soleil fucking concert or what the fuck ever, saying that they're just kids or leave them alone. Wait a minute. Okay. Kids are very, very, I'm talking about from age 2 on up. They're indignant. Okay. And you're supposed to teach them the right way. You're not supposed to make excuses for their bad behavior. So I'm going to assume that when your 3-year-old pick up a bobby pin and head towards that goddamn electric socket, that you're going to let them explore because he's just a child. No, you're going to go up and probably quickly slap that thing out of his hand or her hand so that they don't kill them themselves at the goddamn electric socket. Sometimes it takes a little bit of roughness to go ahead and say, hey, that's not it. Don't do it again. Don't let me catch you doing it again. Don't walk through this community. Don't, unless you have business here, don't do that. That's part of the rules. You're going to have to take your extra 10 minutes to get to the store. It ain't shit wrong with that. There is no shortcuts. Okay, that's why the Black community is so fucking broke and disgusted right now. There are no shortcuts. Nobody's going to gift you with extra privileges. It's not happening. And for you to expect it coming from a place that you so-called claim oppress your ass, it's appalling to me. You know?
Yeah, no. I keep seeing, America. I keep seeing these posts on social media about America being the problem. I'm like, ma'am, do you realize if you leave this country, like, America does have its problems, but there are some places where, I mean, I don't even know how to compare it to, like, dragging my foot over broken glass. I would not want to live there at all as a Black woman. And
I know. Yep.
Yeah. So.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. And I just always shake my head when people talk shit about America. America is not without its issues. But when you look at some of these other countries and the shit that these women are enduring in these other countries, that's why I just shake my head at these ungrateful bitches. And that's why I say it's positive. That's why I said they need to start deporting a lot of these bitches too. Because maybe if you actually have to go somewhere else and live under what else, you will find out what some real oppression is. Let me say that. If you have to go somewhere and live in some of these other countries, your ass will know what some real oppression is for once.
Charlie, are you dusty?
No, ma'am, I'm not. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I was just calling to agree with everything y'all have said, and specifically kind of to agree with Aaliyah. I'm sorry. I hope y'all all doing well. That was very rude of me to just start talking.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. I like when you get to the point. God damn it.
I tried, girl. I make notes because I'll forget. I had to write it down. So as Aaliyah was saying, and as all of you said, they have a right to ask, but I also want to add that no one reacts poorly when you actually answer when they ask.
Thank you.
I remember I went to a really nice hotel, upscale. I go there every once in a while because they have a nice salon. And I was walking around the pool, not knowing that the pool area was only for guests. A guy came up to me and asked me, I'm sorry, are you a guest? And I could see the fear in his eyes. He thought I was about to blow up, pull out the phone, act a fool. And I said, oh, no, I'm not. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be here. He was so relieved. And he was very courteous and kind and was just like, oh, it's no problem.
That's all they got to do. But see, when you do that, it doesn't spur any controversy. And that's what Black people are looking for. Controversy and lawsuits. Because God forbid you go and get a decent job, huh? You're looking for controversy, lawsuits. And one thing that Black people love the most is attention. Attention is currency in the Black community. Do you understand me? Just answering the question and moving on with your life, that's not going to get you to go viral. We got to go viral and tell everybody how we just got fucked up. And they just asked us that because we Black. You know, the only person that said anything about Black folk in that goddamn video was them Black girls.
It was the girls. Yeah. People just they treat you, if you just say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know." They're nice to you. I mean, that guy, I was about to turn and leave, and he started telling me stories about people blowing up on him, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be leaving the area, and he's starting a conversation with me.
Okay. I don't got
So,
act shit like that on vacation when me and my husband go places. You know, it's
hmm
either, yeah, I'm here, blah, 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 show the ticket or whatever that you have to show in order to be where you are, or my husband will whip out the ticket or whatever. That's my wife, whatever. They're going to ask you because your group is fucked up. They're
hmm
fucked up. And these so called black leaders that want to so called get the black community together, which I think they on some bullshit as well. You don't want it to get together because guess what? You don't want to admit that there's a problem.
yeah, and I don't like being asked about if I'm supposed to be there, but I understand the reason why they're asking.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
my very last point is, and you kind of just said it, is the answer to all of Blackistan's questions are because Brad built it.
That
Why do
part.
I have to answer a question that Becky doesn't have to answer because Brad built it? How come
Yeah.
I can't go to that school because Brad built it? How come I gotta pay? They're letting me die giving birth to babies because Brad built it. That's
Yeah,
why.
I agree 100%. Black women, you wouldn't have to answer all these questions had your men built you something. Huh?
Yeah.
Had your men built something for you, nobody would be asking you, should you be there? They'll already know. That's why they don't ask Becky. And guess what? Sometimes Becky don't belong there, but she don't get asked because she part of the group
Exactly.
that actually won. You better swallow that pill.
Yeah. How come they can kick Don Lemon off CNN because Brad built it? That's why. And that's all I had to say. Love you, ladies. And oh, actually, one last thing. I just have to say again, I come up here all the time and say this, but I'm so grateful for y'all because y'all really have given me a new perspective and like really pulling me out of Blackistan. So I really do appreciate it. Just opening my eyes, you and other women in this space. So I just wish the best for all of y'all and take care of yourselves.
Oh, same to you, honey. And Taj Mahal, that's how you have a conversation, bitch. That's how
She's
you have
still
a
in the chats
conversation.
working.
Yeah, she was being highly disrespectful
I ain't
because
seen shit she put. They must have unblocked her or something because I ain't seen shit from her.
yeah, she was being highly disrespectful. She didn't call up here to have a conversation for real. She called her to be smart because after she asked the question and we was trying to answer her, it's not their fucking business though. Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. Bitch, are you got Tourette's or something? What the fuck is wrong with you? That's
How is
what
it?
I'm
How
saying.
is it not the? How is it not the neighborhood watch's business? Who's out there? These
That's what
hoes
I'm
are
saying.
stupid.
It's something
How the
seriously
fuck
wrong
is
with
it
some of
not
these
the
people.
goddamn watch business?
It's not
Whose
the
business?
zookeeper.
Child.
It's not the zookeeper to make sure the animals are still in their enclosures.
Whose business is it if it ain't the neighborhood watch's business? God damn. See,
See,
this is why y'all communities look like that because y'all don't want nobody. Y'all, if the black folks started so-called policing their own communities, y'all would see a literal. They would build a wall around that shit. You think redlining is bad? Look, it would be a free for all. That shit would look like a city of looters. Seriously.
see, this is why I'm. This is who is raising these kids. This is who's raising the girls like this. That's why I say y'all should really be afraid for y'all kids because they're adopting a lot of y'all attitudes and personalities, and that's really not a good thing. Say whatever you want to say about us, but we are not walking the streets every day handling business and conducting ourselves like a lot of these Blackistan minded ass bitches pretending still mammying but pretending like they're not mammies because I hate undercover mammies. There's nothing worse than an undercover ass mammy.
I
And
think
that
fence
bullshit.
sitters are worse, honestly, because anytime something like this happens, I bet you Taj Mahal consider herself goddamn divested. But
Exactly.
when something like this happens, here we go. They be rubbing their goddamn ass crack against that fence, getting irritated and shit, be needing Desitin and diaper rash cream and all kind of shit. But they just kids. They gotta follow the rules. You're not aware?
Exactly. That's why I said they're not preparing them for the real world. That's not how the real world works. Y'all kids, y'all and y'all children are in for a very rude awakening if you think you can just maneuver through life doing whatever the fuck you want to do and nobody's never supposed to stop and question anything or ask you anything. Is that really the way they think life is supposed to work? The police
Yes.
are not supposed to
Yes.
ask you for any
Yup.
identification. The
Yup.
police is not supposed to ask you whether or not you belong in the neighborhood. It's
Nope.
racial profiling. It's
Exactly.
all this other shit. It's like nobody can literally stop and ask y'all anything. Do y'all feel like that's the way life's supposed to work? And that's the reason why, since can't nobody tell you nothing, so many of you motherfuckers end up behind a set of bars. So then you in there with everybody telling you what the fuck to do, since you didn't want to listen to what nobody else had to ask you on the street. So that's why I say it's crazy as hell. But
Let me
they are
check.
in.
Let me check the back. To Gemini, is this your account? Are you Dusty or is this your account?
No, I'm not dusty at all. How y'all doing?
Fucking amazing. How are you?
I'm good. So, about the entitlement thing, I was in and out, but I was listening, and she sounds super entitled. For example, you go to work, you forget your badge. Security has every right to stop you and ask who you are and where you are going. You gonna turn up on them for doing your job? No, that's their job to identify you. If you don't have your badge, they don't know who you are, they don't know where you're going, and if you decide to turn up, you're seen as a threat. Like Shorty, what Shorty was saying was making no sense. Those little girls had every right to be questioned because they don't live in that neighborhood. Not because they just don't live there, it's also for safety of the other neighbors that live in that neighborhood. She was talking mad crazy, and that shit was mad annoying.
Taj, po baby. Po baby. Y'all, Taj. Oh my God. Po thing. I think Taj might be a little bit pro black.
I don't know. I
Mm.
never got dismissed by a Brad baby. You wrong on that one. You can get out of here with that damn comment.
You see her, Gemini? She's still twerking.
Taj,
Never got dismissed by a Brad baby.
I want to order
Absolutely
some
not.
shea butter. I want to order some shea butter from you, boo. Huh?
But
How much your shea butter cost? Can I get a tarot card reading or something?
but DZ, oh
Yes.
sorry,
Go ahead,
but
baby.
DZ, if Taj is so concerned about the Brads that try to dismiss her at work, she can always go work for a Tyrone company.
Ooh.
Oh wait, Tyrone did built shit, so we have to work for Brad.
Or because she could get together and get with one of those Brads. I mean, there's a couple of ways to work the system. Like, if that's the whole thing, I don't understand people who get mad because you keep trying to fit the circle block of wood into the square hole. It obviously does not work. I need you to try different options. Figure it the fuck out. What you're doing isn't working. Please just stop. Just stop and don't get mad at the system. Hate the game, not the player. Apparently, your men didn't know how to play. So you need to either A, get with the men who built the damn game and play the game with them, or B, find however else it is you want to play. But getting mad at it is not going to solve your issue. That's all I gotta say.
I told
She's
y'all.
probably at work on that Black Lives Matter bullshit. That's why Brad dismissed her.
That girl probably coming there with that head wrap on, that ankh around her goddamn neck, and say power to the goddamn people. Yeah, you gonna take your ass to the parking lot with that bullshit.
She's probably one of those types that was arguing about why can't I wear a bonnet on my Zoom work meeting type of shit. but I also wanted to comment. Someone else was in the comments talking about they would hate for their daughter to get profiled, and I'm like, do you let your daughter walk around looking like a hood rat? Because if you do, that's on you. Now, my mother did not let me walk around wearing ghetto hood rat aesthetics. Now, back in my day, it was those Alicia Keys cornrows. Do you think my mother let me wear cornrows when I was a teenager like that? Hell no. Do you think I was going around wearing all those hip hop clothing brands that were popular in the 2000s? Hell no. Why? Because she knew that me walking around looking like that would get me treated a certain way. And if you need to be teaching your daughter about respectability politics.
Can I ask y'all a question? Whoever typed that comment, I don't want my daughter to be profiled. I'm asking a serious question. I swear I be funny sometimes, and I'm not being funny right now. Is there ever a time where somebody can ask your child a question and it's not profiling them? What questions are they allowed to ask your child? So just because they ask, what are you doing here? That's profiling you. So essentially what you're saying is nobody can ask them anything. Will you answer the phone and come within the next 5 minutes to come get your kids so we can ask you whether they should be here or not? Or are you going to ask child? That's what I'm saying. Nobody's supposed to, but if something's happening with your kids, you want them to jump right in there. If it's a truck coming, you'll be praising Brad to death if he grabbed her and got her out the way of the truck. But what if he mind his business? Is that racism too? He didn't say anything to her because essentially you said don't say nothing to the child. So what do you want?
That's why I say they're ignorant and they're childish. A lot of black women are extremely immature and they are on some ghetto ass bullshit. Because say what you want to say about me. I specifically said as a professional, this is what I do for a living as an active field investigator. I am an adult. And I can't even walk up into whatever gated community or apartment complex that I want to. And I'm there on official business. I got to go through apartment management. And chances are, because of all this shit that's been going down and all the trouble that these people have been bringing to folks' front door, they won't even let me in. So I got to either leave a note or something with our management, because they're not going to tell me what apartment or where that person lives now. Because so many people have come up into these apartment complexes, fighting people, destroying property, and it's usually some nigga or some bitch fighting over a nigga. Is usually what it is. And they bring all that trouble to these apartment complexes. And thanks to them, I'm their own official business. I'm trying to help with the super spreading that's going on in y'all community. I'm an adult and they won't even let me in. So what the fuck makes you think that children are supposed to just come and go as they see fit and they don't live there?
Girl, let whatever happens going to happen to your kids. Let it go ahead and happen. I will not be crying any tears. Y'all saw in real time tonight what these women think that these kids are supposed to be allowed to do. Stay your ass strapped. Make sure you know the rules of your area and your community. If you live in a gated community, stay within those guidelines and you will be just fine. And I think homeboy gonna be just fine as well. I wanted to show y'all something that was quite amazing. Ooh, should I say her name up here? No, for those of you that are very inclusive of your, your multi-letter mafia people and the people that don't understand that black men want to be you, therefore they hate you.
DZ, can I interrupt you for a second?
What's up?
Just wanted to say good night and thank you for letting me up on the panel.
Absolutely.
As the video of a trio of shoplifting suspects in disguise who were caught on camera macing a department store employee while stealing at the Aventura Mall. Local 10's Rosh Lowe is live with a closer look at the crooks. Rosh.
The macing at Macy's. This story has just about everything. We have men dressed as women, say cops.
He's so uncomfortable saying that.
I know. So when they do the crime stats, you know what black men was trying to do right here, right? When they do the crime stats with men, women, all this shit here, your crime stats are going to be a little bit higher because sometimes, they so bussy that they do pass as you sometime, but let's go.
We have them in the women's section of Macy's going after perfume, say police. We have a takedown on camera. There's a chase, a crash, and arrests. Let's look at this person in the white bandana, light blue crop t-shirt, and black capri pants. And then we have this person in the gray sweatshirt. And then this person in the white tank top and gray shorts. Aventura police say these are men dressed as women.
These your sons. By the way, will it be profiling if they ask them, ma'am, sir, what did you just put in that box? What did you just put in that bag? Did you pay for those perfumes that you put in the bag?
That's racist.
I'm telling you. So
if she was white, they wouldn't have asked her that.
Y'all, they trying to get y'all in trouble. So had they got away with this shit, they would have been looking for some what they thought was black women. But folks and Harriets and stuff like that say you need to stop being so goddamn bigoted. Let's go.
And they're at the Aventura Mall. And cops say they are swiping fragrances. And there's more. Watch here. After store security gets wind of what this trio is up to, they try and catch them. Here's the tackle. The suspects, say cops, used pepper spray and get away.
3 suspects pepper sprayed in a study.
Aventura police put out the info on the suspects.
They were last seen driving a 2019 four-door white Lexus with dark tint.
Lauderhill police try to make a traffic stop, but they say the driver identified as 21.
That's y'all son? Huh? That's y'all son? I don't know why on earth anybody was minding his business. Ain't that right, Taj Mahal? Huh? It kind of resembles the folk that was walking through that goddamn community, doesn't it? Maybe he knows somebody at Macy's and the security was wrong. Stop profiling. Y'all sons look amazing.
1-year-old Armani Green never stopped. There was a pursuit and then a minor crash. Green and a minor found right away. They were both busted. A third adult male was also in the car, but not facing charges. When we spoke to Aventura shoppers about this video, this was their reaction.
If they're thieving in skirts or in pants, one way or the other.
It is horrendous. Please, people, pay attention to what's going on.
No, Zaddy, that's profiling. That's profiling. Anytime you're trying to monitor your environment, let these black people do what the fuck they want to do. You know they don't have much. They poor and hungry. That's why they gonna take that perfume home and cook it.
Don't be soft on crime.
Anybody got any recipes for perfume? I want to know, how do you make a perfume flambe around this bitch? Because they're just doing that because they're hungry. I bet you that's tasty like a motherfucker. I ain't had my tacos on this Tuesday yet either. I wonder if I sprayed some Giorgio Armani on top of the lettuce on my tacos tonight, would it be tasty? Because what y'all say, they only do crime because they're impoverished. Oh, DZ, maybe they're going to sell it. Okay, well, somebody that's extremely hungry ain't worried about smelling like no Giorgio Armani, huh? Y'all make me sick. Y'all do. Anybody got anything on this? Because I thought this shit was fucking hilarious.
This is multiple fantasies for them. They get to steal stuff. They get to be who they really feel on the inside. I can't even say it.
That's part of the entitlement. Everybody else how dare you have to go to work and earn money to be able to buy shit? You should be able to just go in and take what it is that you want, and ain't nobody supposed to stop you and ask you about a damn thing. Who the fuck are they to ask you anything? Like, it's the entitlement for me that you think that this is how the real world works. Everybody else got to go to work and pay for shit, and you don't.
Look,
that's what kills me.
This is why y'all store is starting to look like this. Y'all, this right here is Target. This is Target. You understand? They don't have nothing out no more. Nothing. Anything you need that you forgot that you got to pick up on the way home, you got to ask an associate, because bitches like the one that's not supposed to be bothered, they just kids, they y'all profiling. Y'all better divest from that community. I ain't never seen no shit like this in all my fucking life, where all the inventory is locked the fuck up. Huh? Everything's locked up. Not one thing, not even a fucking lollipop is available to your motherfucking ass. And you talking about, how dare you ask me? Look at what y'all doing to society.
Where's that acting?
I'll just wait. Let me tell you. I'll just order my stuff from Amazon. Well, your porch pirates might take that too. But anyway, who doesn't experience emergencies? Let's just say about the tacos tonight. If you forgot your goddamn lettuce, you can't order it off Amazon for tacos tonight, bitch. So what you got to do is drop by the store, and then you got to stop and ask the associate, can I get a head of lettuce? This sounds crazy. That right there, that store is in California. Okay.
Holy shit. I've never seen anything like that.
I have never seen anything like that in my whole 45 years on this earth. This place is getting so goddamn bad that everything is locked the fuck up. I'm talking about shit that costs pennies on the dollar. You can't pick it up no more. And that's coming to a store near you, honestly.
To be honest with you, I'm not even mad at them. Do whatever they got to do to protect their shit. Because like I said, it's the entitlement for me. I'm getting tired of them feeling like that poverty is an excuse to just take what they want. Just because you don't have something, that means, or they, should I say, that gives you the right to be able to go into a store and they justify this shit, just like they was talking about cutting them food stamps and everything. They're trying to make it now to where it's a requirement that you have to work a certain amount of hours before
Good.
you'll be eligible to get it. And I thought it was a great idea because they forced me to do the same thing while I was a college student and didn't have any kids. So I think it's fair that you have to at least have some sort of part-time job doing something with yourself besides collecting benefits every month. They have a problem with it because they don't want to have to submit the paperwork in order to remain eligible. My thing is, the people who do the least and contribute the least feel like they're not supposed to have to do anything that normal people do in a functioning society. And that's the reason why all of their shit turns to shit and ends up turning looking like a complete shithole. They don't know how to operate like normal human beings. You think that because you don't have something, you have the right to go inside a store and just take it. I'm just gonna steal it. Fuck who else got to buy it. I need this, so I'm gonna take it.
They
Like,
just
who the
arrested
fuck
a
are you?
woman. They just arrested a woman that was walking around the store, y'all. She had her 3 kids with her, and she grabbed a buggy, and they were walking around eating. They just walked around and they were just eating. She had the kids in the buggy. She gave the kids some cookies. She was eating some shit, and they just walked the store until they finished eating and then tried to walk out the front door. I shit you the fuck not. These people are crazy. But let me tell you how we get here. It's all the excuse making. I got one more story I want to go over with y'all before y'all go on about y'all business and shit. And my ladies come to the Discord so that we can talk about the newest tea. I can't wait to get back there for this one because this one, when this one hit the streets, is gonna be oh Lord. Anyway, let's go.
Her attacker was given 1 year on probation for his punishment.
And now, Taryn, she's hoping her story could be a platform for change in the legal system. Let's get right to Fox News' Dave Spencer. He's live in the studio with this story. Dave.
Yeah, Roop, what happened to Michelle Powell likely happens to a lot of abuse survivors. She was attacked. A man was convicted, yet she still feels like the system let her down. Now she's hoping to bring about change for the next survivor. Michelle Powell thought she'd found the one.
We joked. It was the 4th of July and sparks flew.
But those sparks extinguished and were replaced.
It's sort of the honeymoon phase, and then they explode.
Biggest explosion came in August of 2018.
He came at me that night, just in a vicious, just blacked out anger.
Her on and off again boyfriend attacked.
And then he began to hit me repeatedly in my face.
Michelle went to police, showed them the injuries and a warrant.
Wonderful. Sparks flew. It looks like fists were flying right after that. Okay. Now she's upset with the system for not doing anything. But y'all, what do y'all want them to do when you won't stop getting in these relationships? Then when people get overzealous and ask you, do you belong here? You say they doing too much. Nobody knows what you want. And frankly, nobody is starting to give a damn what you want. Okay? The reason he only got a year probation is because y'all asked for that. Y'all asked them to stop over punishing black males when they do something wrong. Okay? What on earth is going on here? The system failed? No, ma'am. No, it didn't. It did what y'all were protesting for. Okay? Sparks flew. Really? With a nigga? Really?
Was issued.
However, he wasn't arrested until 6 months had passed.
In that time, she also filed a personal protection order, which he violated and was given a probation of 14 days. And when it came time to go to trial for the abuse,
during trial, he was found guilty by a jury.
Rashad Hendricks, guilty of a misdemeanor, aggravated domestic violence.
The judge sentenced him to 1 year probation.
A sentence she feels did not fit the crime.
The process needs to be examined in both the police department and in the courts.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare she say that this needs to be examined? What do you mean it needs to be examined? What needs to be examined on some real shit is why y'all keep getting in these relationships. So let's just say the system is fucked up. And thank you, Taz. I appreciate your super chat. I got my banner up and I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. But what needs to be examined is why y'all keep getting in these relationships. They're not there to play referee for you getting your coochie wet for Tyrone. They're not there for that. You have to make sure that you're okay and that you're safe. I don't know how many times I got to say that shit. What do you, nobody knows what you want. And I don't give a fuck what you want at this point. I really don't. I've seen so much shit these past couple of months, with y'all talking out of both sides of y'all neck, between Ralph, these girls in this gated community, and everything in between. Then you taking up for the queen, Don Lemon. You acting a damn fool because Angela Bassett didn't win. When, goddamn it, that would have been the first time anybody won anything for being in a superhero movie. Y'all just want attention. You want attention and free shit. Black women, divest from that fucking community. There is no fixing it. Okay, there's a certain person on this goddamn website right here, right motherfucking now, that was crying tears yesterday because she put in so much work in that community and those black men failed her. She was crying tears. I'm looking at the chat right now. If anybody knows who I'm talking about, hey, you got my one-time permission to put the shit in the chat. She was crying tears. She was so disappointed that she got fucked over by these same motherfuckers that she was fighting for. Stop fighting for them. Black women are going to continue to deal with violent black men. These black kids are going to continue to be bad. There's not going to be any building. There's not going to be any growth. There's not going to be any emphasis on education. There's not going to be any changes whatsoever. The best thing that you can do as a black woman is abandon ship before the nose of that ship finally hits the underground, because you're going to be fucked up and you're going to be there forever. Go ahead and go. Anybody got anything before we go to Discord and get on this tea, because the shit is hot?
I will say this. Black women, and see, they say we talk a lot of shit about black men, and we do, but we also talk to black women, what should I say, a lot about mammies, because again, it comes down to image. This whole says I cannot be corrected bullshit has got to go. Especially when somebody trying to tell you something right. That shit has got to go. Can't nobody tell you shit. Can't nobody ask you no questions. And I said that because I see her type all the time. I know her type. Nobody can ask you anything, but that's not how life works. And like I said before, if you have these kids thinking like you think, y'all are in for a rude awakening. And it's not going to be pretty at all. I'm gonna see if y'all can hang. A lot of y'all got a lot of mouth, but y'all checkbooks really can't back up all this shit y'all talking. Y'all writing a whole bunch of checks that y'all ass can't cash. Understand that.
Well,
defund the police, refund the police, shorten the sentences, extend the sentences.
Yes.
At this point, can you all just say that you want Schrodinger's box and go sit in the Bermuda Triangle? Like, just own your existence and leave. I'm just so done with this. It's like it's the perpetual hanging of the picture a little more to the left. No, a little more to the right. No, a little bit more to the left. No, a little more to the right. Like, there is zero pleasing. There is zero pleasing. The needle always moves. Not black women, mammies, forgive me, ladies. Mammies treat the rest of the world the way black males treat mammies. And you all need to understand, just because you all accept that bullshit doesn't mean everybody else is going to accept that kind of treatment. Figure out your Stockholm syndrome and stop thinking you can continue it. That's not how you fix it.
Get your fists out of the air. Let's go be messy, y'all. Let's go be very, very nastily messy in Discord. Also, the video is going up tonight as well. I'm going to put it up before we go so y'all can see the rest of that disgusting rant that nigga did. Y'all enjoy y'all Taco Tuesday, and I'll see y'all on Friday. Love you. Bye.
Night.
Night.
Thank you.